This Sunday. Every Sunday. Side by side at the microphone, from the green light to the speed trap, Chris Switzer and Ray Carino calls them as they sees them, and you better believe them. Here! Relevant news, biased opinions, and outright bullshit regarding every aspect of automotive culture. Gas, but mechanical trickery never before revealed over FCC-regulated airwaves. Thrill to the explosive tension as Chris and Ray cuss each other down the track and barrel roll across the finish line, laughing at certain disaster as they shake hands for the devil. All that and much more this Sunday at high noon on the Motormouth Radio Hour. Call in and speak live with the Wizards of Speed and live feed, Chris Switzer and Ray Carino. Bring the whole family. Kids under 12 get in free. Every Sunday at noon on WHPC. Take the Long Island Expressway to the Meadowbrook Parkway and look for the sign saying no parking on the expressway and no express service on the parkway. Go right on Highway 24 to Garden City. $2 all-day parking includes pit pass. Sunday!
Big chrome tack, got a 421 and run lots of torque and back. When it comes to the power shift, I really got the knack. Oh, I've never been beaten in my new white track. White track, a big
your white track, our white track. Everybody's turned into a white track these days, but if you don't have a Pontiac, you do have Motormouth Radio, Long Island's only automotive talk show with your hosts, Ray Guarino and Chris Switzer. How are you, Mr. Wide Track?
Feeling wider every day.
Oh, I know. It's kind of a epidemic, I know, but that's okay. We're here to talk about it, so that's what we do.
That is what we do. That is true right here on Motormouth Radio on this fine Sunday, where we're watching the snow do its slow retreat up here at the Constitution State, which is very nice. I don't know how the snow situation is down by you in the island of Long, but
You still have snow? No, I'll tell you something.
You know what it is? It's like the relative that stays over that refuses to leave. That's the way I'm describing the snow. It's like, go home. You go home.
Well, I'll
go away.
I'll tell you something. We're pretty much devoid of snow. There's one little tiny little patch in front of the house, but in the town that I live in, which is on the South Shore of Long Island, it is a little warmer on the South Shore. Definitely, people talk about Queens versus Nassau, Suffolk, but the North, I just watched a video the other day, a guy who does a lot of Long Island stuff, and he says, people always talk about Nassau, Suffolk, they divide the counties. He says, no, the real way, the way that people who live here divide it is north and south. Like the line goes horizontally.
I agree.
And one of the things that is totally different on the North and South Shore, you fall onto the North Shore because you're on the other side of that water,
right? Is
the temperature. It's a lot colder in the North Shore than it is on South Shore. We have the ocean breezes. And right now today, it is so foggy today.
You too, huh?
You almost can't see because the ocean is cold, but now it's warmer here.
Yeah, we have a lot of fog this morning as well. You couldn't see the back fence in my yard.
Right.
You couldn't see it. I'm like, that is zero visibility in my world.
Yeah. Actually, we'll be doing the weather a little later. So
yeah, stay tuned for the weather here on a radio, automotive radio talk show. Stay tuned for the weather coming up at the bottom of the hour.
We'll be doing more of that later. But yeah. So coming off a great show last week with Mr. John Schwartz, we talked about the Eddie Byrne Memorial in the car. That's a fantastic thing. I want people to keep in touch with that. And as we get more information, we will disseminate it out to people because it is a very hot topic. People want to know about it.
And it's true. It's a memorial that I think is well deserved, and something it's a remembrance of something that was just so heinous that that this car would be, I think, a fitting tribute. So it's something, and I'm glad we were able to talk with him and learn a little bit more about what was going on.
We will be in touch. So, so now it's time this week. We're going to kind of catch up with a couple things that we got remiss on. And,
you too?
Yeah. I was telling you about a new tool I bought a while ago.
I love when you talk about your tool, Ray.
I know. And it's a pressure bleeder for brakes, right?
Yes, right.
Because I always wondered, one of the things that I thought about when it was time
Yeah,
was
I always wondered how many brake bleeding pressure tools you actually have. But
I
go
have
ahead.
I have a lot. I do.
I
Have,
know you do.
I have a collection, and now I have another one. And the one thing I thought about was how did they do that on the assembly line? How did they fill and make sure the brake fluid, the brake system was working? The guys weren't there pumping the pedal. The guy wasn't over there. Come on, let's face it, right?
No, it's a great question. I have no clue. I'm sure there's some sort of technological procedure that goes on that I'm sure has not changed much in many years. Because if you think about it, the overall design of a modern brake system, of a hydraulic
Mhm.
modern brake system, is what, 60, 70 years old,
Yeah,
maybe
well,
older. So
there's a,
I'm sure what.
yeah, you have some variants. Now you have like
Yeah,
electric assist, you have hydraulic assist.
yeah.
Vacuum assist was the common one, right? So what I found out is they did it with a pressure system. They actually had now haven't I saw one picture. I haven't gotten to see anything else, but I know they would come over with a pressurized, uh, device and fill and just pressure, just run the fluid straight through the system. So
Right.
makes sense, the quickest. So that was the only tool I was missing. So like I explained to you, I bought a pump. The ones that have an electric motor or battery powered motor in them were about $500-600. And I said, yeah, well, I do a lot, but I'm not doing that much to have that pay for itself right now.
Right, to justify that cost.
So I
Yes.
went to the next level, and it is I think it's a 1 or a 3 liter chamber. I didn't bring it in, and you have to hand pump it like a garden sprayer to
Oh,
build
you,
the
you got you
pressure.
got you got to watch this on YouTube just to see Ray do his hand pump
Yes, you're
imitation.
gonna
But it's
love
pretty
that.
cool. Yes.
Years of practice to get that.
Yeah, I'm not even going to describe it.
No,
I'll let your
good,
imagination take over.
good idea.
Mm.
So, and there's a gauge on it. So as you hand pump it,
There you go again.
watch the gauge go up. I can't stop. What can I tell you? You were a teenager, weren't you? Come on, come on, Chris. Jeez. So,
but we never went blind.
no, we didn't. Well, so that being the case, and I've used this already twice, and the initial pumpage, it takes a little while, but it stays for a while. It really does. It's kind of economical. And I thought two things. Of course, I wanted to modify the tool. And one of them was, I said, boy, if I could put an air nozzle in this thing where I could just hit it with some pressurized air
Mm.
instead of pumping it. So what I came up with was this.
Oh boy, here we go.
It's real simple.
I smell catastrophe in the wind, Ray.
And it ties into something else that we talked about a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
We were talking about checking tire pressures.
right.
So the cap that goes onto the bottle that the plunger rod goes through is plastic because the bottle is a very thick plastic as well.
Okay.
So I need to remove that and I got to keep that on the side and I need to find another cap of the right thread size that'll fit the bottle. And I don't think that's going to be too hard to do, but I have to investigate it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one of these into
That's a regular valve stem off a tire.
that's a valve stem.
Right.
The valve stem has you can't see it, but there's a where it fits into the rim, there's a ridge.
There's a groove.
So if I can get a metal cap and make the hole of the correct size, I can pop this in and it'll stay, and then I can just put air into this.
Got it.
The other thing we were talking about in past shows
That's a nice idea.
was this.
Right. That's the regular, what would you call that tire
It's,
tire monitor, tire gauge,
it's a tire pressure gauge. This is
tire
what
pressure gauge.
you check.
That's the standard type with that pops out at the bottom of it's like a pen
It's a pencil type, they
size.
call it.
Pencil type. Yeah.
But the thing that we talked about was, and I can't put the, hold on. See what I'm doing? I'm unscrewing.
You're
again.
unscrewing that the bottom of it. Oh, and there's like a little tang or something. Oh,
And
it's
that tang goes in here.
it fits into it fits into the valve, and you're able to pull the stem out with that. Oh, look at that. Brilliant.
Right.
Oh, you got to watch this on YouTube, gang. Definitely. This is YouTube. This is a visual. This is Ray Guarino at his radio best, showing off visuals.
So this is what we talked about.
That's
I said,
nifty.
and you
I
put
got to
this-
see if I have one of those like that because I got a handful of those things.
well, that's, I know when I mentioned it, I said, okay, I went out to the garage and I went to the drawer that has, I actually, you're going to love this.
What?
I have it's actually a snap-on thing. So it's got a little bit of tool cred, a pocket protector. It's a pocket protector.
You do not have a pocket protector.
I do.
Actually, I'm not surprised. Now that I think about it.
And it's white with red letters. It's Snap-on branded. It's from the 80s.
I love when you geek out on things. So a pocket protector is probably apropos. Yes.
And in the pocket protector are like 6 tire pressure gauges. That's just where I keep them. I don't wear the pocket protector. I just have it in a toolbox.
Oh, darn. I was hoping you would.
So I wanted to look and see how many of these had that tool. Only this one does. The rest of them do not.
Wow.
So I think I had another one, and I might have lost it. And this is from it's not even a well-known company. I can't read it right now without my glasses, but it's some company that made tire pressure gauges.
Yeah, but a tire pressure gauge like that is one of those things automotive guys just appropriate. No one goes out and buys one. It's almost like a Bic lighter. A Bic lighter, you just end up with them. They just show up. Like, I don't know where this came from. Here it is. You don't know. I don't think I've ever purchased a lighter in all of my smoking career. I don't think I've ever purchased one. They just showed up. And I think tire pressure gauges like that just show up.
Right. So
I don't ever remember buying one.
No, me neither. So there's that. The other thing that I talked about where that bleeder was concerned was I remember telling you when I had the hose from the pressure comes down from the master cylinder because you attach this thing by a hose to the master cylinder.
Right.
So the bleeder tool is up in the front by in the front of the car somewhere.
Okay.
You pressurize it. When it's on the master cylinder, as soon as you open the bleeder valve, now that whole system has push behind it. It has air pushing the fluid. And when you open the bleeder, the fluid will come out. So you have a hose on your bleeder valve. Yes. And that goes into they provide you with like another plastic container that you hang from the car somewhere and you just let it, fill in there. So it's not all over the floor. Mm-hmm. The problem I had was when I took that, even when I shut the bleeder valve closed the bleeder valve and removed the fitting from the from the bleeder, there was some pressure in the line and I would get some fluid coming out. So I said, wow, if I could put a valve on this, I could shut the valve off. And that started another search. And I looked and I searched and I couldn't find anything.
You didn't like the premature squirt from the pressure.
So what I came up with was this.
Oh, wow. That's a simple valve that you've attached to the plastic tube.
And this valve just goes.
How did you attach it? Is it how did you
well, I'll show you.
Yeah, how did you secure the valve to the plastic tube?
When the valve is in this position, it's off.
It's closed.
And then
when it's perpendicular, when the handle is perpendicular to the valve, it's closed, and when it's parallel to the valve, it's open. Yeah.
So do you see these the black end, the little black bushing?
I do. Yes. Okay. There's a little black bushing on either end of those.
I need 2 hands. When you take this black bushing now and pull it in toward the valve, the tube comes out.
Oh, wow.
If you've ever used a shark bite fitting on plumbing,
yes, I have.
This is like a shark bite. Now you take the tube, you could pull this back, push the tubing in, and
it's secure.
It locks in place.
When you don't pull on it like you just did.
No, it does. It locks in place. That thing that's not coming out.
And that's trustworthy?
Well, I was very curious about that.
Because it doesn't look trustworthy.
Okay.
It doesn't look very secure.
So
even though it's a great idea.
So I was concerned about the pressure. And I found these on Amazon. Found this on Amazon, by the way.
The valves.
4 valves, $11. And the company was like a well-known company. There's a lot of air. I looked them up. They do a lot of air and hydraulic and pneumatic stuff. So
it's not like the Acme company, like Wild Coyote.
So they said they did have because they sold the valves in like 5 or 6 different sizes for 5 or 6 diameter tubings.
Sure.
And they did say, make sure that the pressure rating complies with the system you're using and blah, blah. I said, oh, wow, pressure rating, right. Maybe I better check. This is small tubing.
Yeah, sure.
So I drill down. Luckily, they had a lot of information on their Amazon page. And that valve, which is that's a 4 millimeter opening, that's small, 175 psi. That thing is rated for.
Wow.
I'm using
no joke.
30. So I said, you know what?
That's
It
no
ain't
joke.
going nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
So I
Okay.
have not used it in service yet. I just got them last week, but
Right.
be sure that I'm gonna check those out. And like I said, 4 of them for $11. You know,
It's worth a try.
it's worth a try. So
It's worth a squirt.
it is worth a squirt. So that's the next step in pressure bleeding for me. We'll see. I'll let you know next time I may just bring like the cruise back in because I'm never happy with the brakes in those cars. I know that on modern cars, and I read an article about this, I think in Motor, where the manufacturers decided they kind of softened or they had feedback from some cars that the brake pedal was too firm or too resistant, and people wanted, older people were driving the cars and they wanted, you'll know what I mean when I say the 70s GM feel.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, totally. Totally.
It drove me nuts, but those cars had kind of a longer, slower, but a pretty linear push on the brakes.
Right. It wasn't like you were pushing on nothing and then you'd get breakage. It would give you
well, linear. That's the word.
yeah, I guess you could say a linear way. Like the lighter you're pushing on that pedal, the lighter the car will stop, type of thing, and the heavier you're pushing it. Yeah.
And you'd get it through the travel.
Yes, you would get it through the travel. Perfect way of putting it.
So I did read an article, which again is linear. That's basically what it means. It's like one in, one out kind of thing. So what I did, of course, it isn't really totally linear, but that's for argument's sake, it's fine. So I read this article years ago, and they said that I forget some of the cars were going a little more sport oriented. Maybe this was back in like the 90s, late 90s, and people were pushing back saying, hey, no, or like older people bringing the cars back to the dealer and said, there's something wrong with my brakes. You got to fix them. And they're like, no, there's nothing wrong with your brakes. And like, we'll take the car back. I don't want it. I can't drive it like this.
Yeah, it's gotten that bad.
But it happened enough that the manufacturers responded and softened up the brakes. And I know this Cruise that we have, that's one of them because that car is kind of targeted for that audience. And the car stops fine. It does. But I am just very critical of the way that brake pedal feels. And I'm always trying to make it better. And I haven't been able to do it yet. So I'm going to see if maybe the pressure bleed, because of course now it's an ABS system. There's more places for air to be trapped.
Right, exactly. I was going to say that ABS box that the fluid passes through, I'm sure there's many different chambers that can cause spongy pedals.
There can be up to 12 solenoids in the ABS module. And that's why, one of the things you do now with a modern car is you can do a manual bleed, but you also do a computer bleed. And you do the computer bleed through the scan tool. So,
come on.
Oh, yeah. No. Well, the other thing is we've spoke about this. Some cars have electronic parking brakes, and you have to have a scan tool to tell the caliper to release, or you'll never get it off the rotor. I mean, I've seen what happened. It happened at the shop. One of the guys there on a BMW, the brakes were off. The car was sitting there, and he was trying to get the rear caliper off, and he just thought, "Oh my God, these brakes!" And with pry bars, pried it off. Luckily, that was able to be saved. It didn't cost the caliper, but what you do with the scan tool is you go into the brakes, rear brakes, and you say caliper rest or release, and you'll hear the motor. There's actually a motor on the back of the caliper. You'll hear it whir, and that piston will come in, or pistons will come in, make it wider. Now you can remove the caliper, change the pads, put it back on. Now you have to tell it caliper reset. And it resets, maybe it may go back and forth because now it's gauging the thickness of the brake pads. And it goes to where, and it'll give it the air gap that the manufacturer specified between the pad and the rotor at rest.
Oh, geez. So there's some sort of electric motor in a caliper?
On the back of the caliper, right on the back, yeah.
Wow.
Right on the back with a plastic housing. Oh, yeah. I probably have a picture. If I do, I'll put it up. But the computer bleed is the sister to that. So what you do is, and I remember I quizzed Joe on this hard years ago. I said, Joe, what the heck is going on, man? This doesn't make sense. Because I did a computer bleed, and it'll tell you, you go into this, you go through the screens, you get it ready, and it'll say, okay, foot off the brake, and then you hear different noises going on in the ABS system.
So the system is actually jazz scatting you.
Oh, it is. And then it'll tell you, put your foot on the brake and hold it. And you put your foot on the brake and hold it, and you'll feel the brake pedal. Sometimes it'll sink, and sometimes it'll start to fluctuate because it's pulsing the brake system.
It's going dooba dabba zooba dabba.
It could be doing just that. Exactly. That's what I thought. And then it'll tell you to release the brake. So there's a procedure. And then sometimes it'll actually tell you, okay, now go do a manual bleed on the right front wheel. Then come back and you do this and you go through the four wheels. And so I asked Joe, I said, the system is closed when it's doing this. How is it bleeding air? Where the hell is the air going?
Right.
It's not, you're not bleeding it out. And Joe said, and he's right, because I found out subsequently, I found some other, thoughts,
Right. Joe is always right.
I know that. You know that. We
all know that.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. Because
we don't have to be right, because Joe is.
All we need to ask is,
what does Joe know?
And Joe knows everything, so we know that. So his explanation, which was correct, was when the system pulses itself, it does move the fluid back and forth, but it breaks up any bubbles of a certain size. God knows what that certain size is, and makes them into much smaller bubbles, like an aeration type of thing. And where a big bubble may not be able to rise, in the fluid because it's static, it's hit its equilibrium point, the smaller bubbles can, and they get forced up through the ABS pump, which is usually in close proximity to the master cylinder. So they'll be forced up through the line from the ABS pump to the master cylinder where they could rise and find that air space. That's why you need air, that air gap on the top of the master. You don't fill it all the way up.
Oh, come on. Really?
And that's where else would they go? That's where the bubbles go.
I'm thinking there's like some sort of valve, like a diode type of valve where air can only go one way and not the other. I'm just thinking something along those lines.
No.
But yeah, that's pretty ingenious.
That's where it goes on a computer.
It's like it's making carbonation almost.
Kind of, yeah. The ABS system doing the computer bleed is roiling up the fluid, breaking up the bigger bubbles to make them into smaller bubbles. And I think that's why they say, especially if you've changed calipers or lines, they want you to follow with a traditional bleed and then come back and do the computer bleed again just to make sure you have everything out. So I want to see if that's going to help this car in particular. But so I don't know. We'll see. So that's the new way of dealing with brakes. There's no two ways about it. What are you?
It's funny. I just went and bought a new tool, a new diagnostic tool as well. I had on the Camry, the tire pressure light has gone on.
Okay.
And I had to figure out which tire had the bad sensor.
Yeah.
So I ordered a new. It's a new one, older model. It's
we were talking about this a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah, an Autel 508. It's like a WF, where it's still programmable. Right. And I had to not only purchase the tool when it got delivered, I then had to go online and download the software.
Right.
And shake hands with with Autel and the tool, which was kind of a little bit of a detriment because on the manual the URLs did not work.
Okay.
So I had to use my spidey sense to get in there to find where the software was, and there was an interface that you have to download to your computer, which is a little frightening because it's like a Microsoft map sort of thing, and everything is written in Chinese.
I have a couple of those downloaded from different tools. Yeah.
Right. So this is my first foray into doing something like this. And then I went and checked the Camry. And what's nice about the tool is you take the tool and you hold it right to the stem of the tire.
Right.
And it reads through Wi-Fi.
Oh, yeah.
The condition of that sensor.
Yeah.
And I found that out of the 4 of them, 3 of them were bad. Actually, the spare was bad too.
I remember talking about this and telling you when I went to Tire Town and asked Joe. I said, I got a bad TPM. It was on the FJ. And he says, which one? I'm like, I don't know. I just have the light. So he says, don't you have the tool? I'm like, no, I haven't bought the tool yet, Joe. So he hands me the Autel tool. He goes, go on, go figure it out. Just tell him which one it is. I'm like, okay. and it was so easy and intuitive to use.
It was. Yeah. It certainly, once I read the manual, because I have to read the manual now. I'm at that age and at that stature where it's like, I'm tired of trying to figure this stuff out on my own. Let me read the manual first, then take the tool and go out and do it.
So what I want you to do is this. Wow. When you do change the sensors,
Yes.
I need you to take one. Either you do it or send it to me, and I want to take it apart. I did look. I have two tire pressure sensors in my toolbox. They're good sensors, and I don't want to cut apart a good one. I had a bad one,
so certainly.
and this one's potted in the back. It looks like it's not going to be, it's going to be nasty to take it apart. But I'm curious about what battery is in there.
I will certainly do that because what I'm going to do is, unfortunately or fortunately, I have to register the car. So once I register the car, then I have to, because there's a couple of other things that I need to repair on this thing before we either keep it or let it go. Still don't know, but I still have an air conditioning issue with it, and I have now this tire pressure issue with it.
Right.
So yeah, once I swap them out, I'm not going to need those sensors, and yes, I'll be glad to take them back and I'll throw them in a box and send them right over. No problem.
And what people should do, we were remiss in saying this earlier, is give us a call today. Have a talk about your stuff at 516-572-7440. Do we have a text line open today? Or no?
Oh, yes, we do, actually. The text line is same as it was last week. It may change, but it's right now, this week, it's 203-670-4127. And we got a text from Kenny. And of course, he says pocket protector after you ruin your first shirt pocket.
Right.
And yeah, he's a big fan of the Mighty Vac.
Yeah, well. The Mighty Vac is, I have the Mighty Vac hand tools, the hand pumps, which I use religiously. But I also said the Harbor Freight brass-bodied vacuum pump is actually my go-to now. Yeah, it's a brass body, and I just took it apart last week and cleaned it, and the thing is serviceable, which is great. And I also have the Mighty Vac. The Mighty Vac that I also have is they call it a pressure bleeder, but it actually works on the Bernoulli effect. It works on vacuum, where you put shop air on it, and you put the line on the bleeder, and the shop air going over the inner tube creates a vacuum, so it pulls the fluid out.
Oh,
so
wow.
I do have one of those, a little noisy. But let's go to the phones and go to the fun and say hi. You're on with the Motor Mouths.
Hey, Kenny here, guys. How you doing?
All right, Ken, what's up?
Hey, Kenny.
Hey, he's talking about the brakes, but that's only for ABS type, right? Where you have the modules and all that stuff?
Yes, that's only on ABS, which is the cars we drive today. That's the new stuff.
Yeah, cool.
The older
cars. I've been getting a lot of questions about people saying, "What do I do with my snow equipment now? The season's over."
We hope.
I just wanted to tell people in my area of Connecticut, Lower Fairfield County, I still got 10 inches on my lawn.
Oh, wow.
You too, right, Kenny? Me too.
Yeah, people are telling me, what do I do? And just two things I tell them. Run it warm, drain the oil out. You got all the acid in the oil that's been building up, okay? Drain it out, put fresh oil in it, and then drain out the gas. Just drain it out. And so, I don't want to drain it. Well, if you don't want to drain it, what I recommend doing is run out what you can and then put in alkylate fuel. There's a lot of brands of it around, Aspen, the other brands. The alkylate fuel will last 2 years. There's no ethanol in it. It will literally start the first time you pull the cord come the fall. So recommendations for that. But one thing, if I can, guys, I'm going on live next week with one of the largest small engine guys on YouTube, Donnie Boy 73.
Oh, wow.
He's one of the originators of small engine on YouTube. We're going live next Saturday from 10 to 12 before your show. Love to hear from you guys.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah.
Saturday is our day to actually do stuff.
Sunday.
Oh, Sunday.
Sunday, okay.
Well, you're on at 12. We're going to be on from 10 to 12 live on YouTube.
Oh, wow. Okay, very good. What channel is that, Ken? Tell people so they know.
It'll be mine, Ken Small Engine Repair, but also on Donnie Boy 73. And those who know small engine repair, they know Donnie Boy.
Excellent. Yes, very good. Very good.
I'm writing this down.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right, Ken, thanks.
All right.
Ken, thanks.
All right.
Take care. Very cool.
Yeah. The other thing, to add to what Kenny said, what I do when I store mine is I let it run the fuel out, and my fuel is treated with Startron. That's my additive of choice.
Right.
Whatever yours is, use yours. And then I actually tip the machine up to make the fuel go down to the output, so it's all at that part of the tank. And when I hear the engine start to pick up, either sputter or pick up an RPM as it gets lean, I put straight Startron into the tank. So that's the last thing that goes through the lines in the carburetor, and then it dies because it runs out. And I have had, just like Ken said, 2-3 years later, I go out there, put fresh gas in it, pull the cord, and boom, the thing will fire. So yeah,
That's great.
great advice from the pro.
No, very true. Because then, if once you just roll the snowblower right into the back of the garage and don't touch it until August, like
Right.
I do sometimes,
Well, that's
I
typical. Yeah.
I have to pull the carburetor and
Yeah.
literally pull the carburetor and clean it. That's what I do. I
Sure.
spray the living heck out of it and then put it right back on. Then I get it to start.
Right. Right.
But yeah, no, that's a smart idea. Do you remember an argument that was had earlier in this show that was when to change the oil in a small engine? Where it's like Kenny recommends changing it now and then letting it sit with fresh oil, or letting it sit with the what would you say, old oil, and then changing it before
yeah.
you use it.
It's a common thread in the muscle car forums.
Right?
Do you change it before or after the seat? Yes, it still goes on to this day.
We've had knockdown, drag them out fights.
Well, there's really two ways of doing it. Either you do it one way, or you do it the other way. So
Right. No,
Yeah.
very true. I'm going to do it the way Kenny recommends this year, because I think the oil's been in there for about 2 or 3
and
years.
make sure you get the right oil. It's probably a straight weight 30. I know my machines I think are a straight 30, maybe a straight 20. It's not a it's not a it's not a not a blended oil.
Kenny just texted us at 203-670-4127. He said old oil has acid in it. Get rid of it.
Yeah, it does.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to go with the bottom of the hour. We're going to take our appropriated break. And I will tell you that your WHPC weather forecast, as I look out the WHPC weather window.
What do you see, Ray?
Fog. The fog. We're powered by Does Bagels with locations in Garden City and Garden City Park, Freeport, and now open in East Meadow. Today, yes, it says areas of patchy fog. Wow, it is like, we're like socked in certain spots. When I went over some of these little lakes and streams, oh man, socked in. And they're saying cloudy in the afternoon, high of 57, which is great. The temperature's rising. Tonight, partly cloudy, low around 40. And tomorrow, mainly sunny, which is going to be nice for a change. High of 59, and then at night it'll be down to like 39 again and foggy. And that's what happens as the temperature goes up and down. You'll get that disparity in temperature, and that's how you get the fog. And I need to ask, are you a proud member of the Nassau Community College alumni, like I am?
Like you are.
You can find out more information about the Nassau Community College Alumni Association. For more information, please visit ncc.edu/alumni. And with that, do we have the all popular honor group of the hour?
And yes, you do. And of course, on the other side of this show, I will tell you something that I have not done. I did it yesterday. Something I have not done in 20 years.
Combed your hair.
What hair?
That's kind of what I'm getting at, Chris.
Well, anyway, the Motormouth Radio Honor Group of the Hour this week, the true garage chemists that can revive automotive products by just adding water. Ooh. Are you one of those brave souls who stare at half-empty bottles of dried-up automotive product and say, nah, I could bring this back? Whether it's washer fluid concentrate that's turned into syrup, a bottle of coolant that looks like it's been sitting there since the Clinton administration, or that mystery jug on the shelf that just needed a little water and a good stir, you are one of those people who refuse to throw anything away without first attempting a full revival, a splash of water, a shake, maybe a stir with a screwdriver, and suddenly it's as good as new. We salute your resourcefulness, your optimism, and your willingness to perform backyard chemistry in the name of automotive preservation. So if you've attempted to revive a dried-out automotive product with water, shake, and stir, then you are part of the Motormouth Radio Honor Group of the Hour this week.
You know, the other people who are part in another way, Vince sent me a valve that I'm going to look at that may work on my contraption here. Billy Velvet's got a couple TPMS that he took out of his GMC for me.
You're going to end up with a box of them.
And Matt Goman Bryan says, which is kind of what I was getting at with the 30 weight, that most small engines, they use non-detergent oil. And that's what I mean by a straight 30. It's a non-detergent straight 30. And you have to look at the owner's manual to find out. But sometimes it says it on the machine. It'll say it on the dipstick cover. And you can get that oil, believe it or not. But where am I going to get that? Like Ace Hardware or Home Depot sells the small engine oil, which is
a Tractor Supply does too. Yeah, Kenny actually added 5W30 for snow engines.
Okay.
Thank you, Kenny.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what mine takes. I'm going to look and see, but I'll be doing that too. All right, so listen, keep it where you got it. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes with more Motor Mouth Radio. I have a thing too from Haggerty talking about 4 up and 4 down, cars that rose and cars that sank, and there's something for both of us on this list.
Interesting.
So
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, so keep it where you got it on 90.3 WHBC.
I love this show so much. I've always described Motor Mouth Radio in terms of luxury, value, reliability. People are like, what's a radio show that's luxurious, valuable, and reliable? I'm like, Sunday afternoons on WHPC 90.3 FM. That's the one.
Oh, that's a promo bit. I'm going to isolate that today.
Did I just do a promo?
You did.
I love it.
This show on 90.3 WHPC is brought to you by CarStar Celebrity Chase Collision, with 2 locations in Limerick and Oceanside, who remind you that New York state law says you always have the right to choose which shop will fix your car. CarStar Celebrity Chase Collision offers a full range of services, 24-hour towing between Montauk and Manhattan, shuttle service, and they can help you with a rental car arrangement if needed. All repairs include the CarStar lifetime nationwide warranty, ensuring that the experts at Celebrity Chase Collision are always on your side.
Y sí, hablamos español.
More information is available at 516-593-0920 or online at celebritychasecollision.com.
Okay, Mark Warman here from Graveyard Cars, hanging out with my buddies at, what's the name of it again?
Motor Mouth Radio.
Hey, Mark Warman here from Graveyard Cars, hanging out with my friends at Motor Mouth Radio. Sunday morning, I don't know what this fat bald guy's laughing about. You'll forget stuff soon enough too, my friend. Be sure to listen. When are you guys on? 10 a.m.?
Sundays at noon.
Noon on Sundays.
Excellent. This was
No, you got the promo. The best one was the first one. That's why I was. Because you said, what was the name of this again? That's the promo.
What better presentation could you do than that?
Hey, you, get over here. Every Sunday, 12 to 1, you are going to tune in to hear the Motor Mouths, my friends Ray Guarino and Chris Switzer. 90.3 FM, WHPC. You might learn something.
The music today is composed, written, directed, and performed by Chris Switzer and his garage band. Up there, Connecticut. Nothing else to do, so he's going to a little bit of the heavy side. So
yeah,
we'll give him time.
We used to sing that song in the car.
Are you in the family or are you in the friend?
Yeah.
I know it's a catchy one. It
is a catchy little ditty.
I love it. So okay, where do we want to go now? Which direction?
Real fast. Yesterday was actually perfect weather to do some polishing on paint. Why? Because it was kind of humid. There was no sun, and it was about 50 degrees at its warmest yesterday, and I was able to go out there and buff out the hood on the pickup truck that I have. It started to develop on the black paint. It started to develop that almost like a blue haze.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Which is a death knell to paint, because it just starts eating into it and it'll decompose it really quickly. So I was able to buff that all off. And the funny thing was, I did the hood and then I did the roof. And then I needed a nap.
Okay.
I was done. I'm like, and mind you, I'm going out there with like ancient technology. I'm using the machine that I think I used on your Chevy. It's a small little machine. I think, and this was when? I think I did your car back like 25 years ago.
2002. Yeah.
Right. And the last car, I was trying to think of it. The last car I actually buffed out in its entirety was my Impala. Oh, wow. And that was 2006.
Okay.
When I picked that car up, because I had to buff all the glue off it, because the car was an old police car. It was an old Rhode Island police car. And I remember that I didn't know its history until I saw it wet. And the glue kind of coagulated. Well, the water reacted to the glue differently than it reacted to the paint finish. And I was able to read the county that it came from in Rhode Island.
Boy, how much easier it would have been to buy that car now, living where you are, instead of having it brought to the Port of Elizabeth, New Jersey. Oh, you know?
Oh, gosh, yes.
You know, the other thing is, I want to tell you, I got this from Macho Man Brian. Your tool guys have this. It's a wheel that you put on a buffing tool or on a drill tool, whatever you want to put it on. It's kind of like a rubbery wheel, and it's used to take off the glue residue after you take a badge off a car. Because I took the Toyota badge off the back of the FJ.
Right.
And one of the guys at the shop, I was sitting there playing with chemicals, and he's like, no, 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 no. And he came out and he had this wheel. He goes, what are you going to do? And he puts it on, just, and it just kind of like, it's like when you use like an eraser on pencil, kind of lifts it off.
Come on. And it didn't do anything to the paint finish?
No. And I was telling Brian about it. It's a 3M wheel. He goes, yeah, I got those on the truck. I said, well, put one in my box that's for my next order. And he did. I actually haven't had to use it yet, but I know where it is. I have it in the garage and I'm ready to go. So, yeah.
That's pretty amazing. Yeah, because that would have been like a snap, because I actually compounded the car to get that glue off.
Right.
That's pretty astonishing. So that was the last car I did before I did this, and my arms are ready to fall off right now. Believe me, I was not happy. And that truck is big. That is the biggest vehicle I think I've ever polished, and I've polished like old Caddies and Lincolns in my day, and I get on this thing. It was the only vehicle I ever used a ladder to climb up to the roof and do the roof. I used a ladder. I never have done that before.
I'll put a picture up of that 3M product. It really does work very well.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So from buffing, Haggerty always does these little market surveys, which is really cool.
Sure.
And they called it 4 up, 4 down in the sub $25,000 range.
That's our number.
Okay. So there's 8 cars. So we're not going to languish over them. We're just going to kind of go through it. But believe it or not, I was amazed at number 1. 53 to 58 Studebaker champion is on the list.
Wow.
It went up by 50%. Right?
Wow.
The
and
champion,
I could see why. I could see why.
So the deluxe model now is at about 14.6, and the Starlight model the Starlight Coupe is at about 28K.
Mm-hmm.
So
I can see why.
I don't know who the audience is.
Well, Studebakers were always bargain basement cars. You can get a 55 Studebaker Champion and a 55 Chevy. You know it's going to be worth more.
But what I'm saying is the market, the audience, because you don't, even though we had a Studebaker club here in Long Island, we've had the guys in the studio, you don't really see them on the road or many at shows at all, unless it's like a Golden Hawk or something, which has been making the circuit. So the second one, here's the pick for you. The 74 to 76 Dodge Monaco. And they showed a picture of it in police trim.
Because that's what everybody wants to do with them.
Went up 20%.
Yeah.
Average about 16K.
And you're talking about cars that are affordable.
Right.
That truly are affordable, which is because a lot of cars now are untouchable with the numbers. But unfortunately, or this is where I find it interesting, some of the numbers are coming down for those untouchable models. So it's like these bargain basement cars are coming up and the untouchable cars are coming down. So it's kind of interesting where the water will seek its level. But go right ahead.
Well, here's one that I like. That's because now Haggerty has such a big database because of their insurance.
Sure.
They really cover the gamut. And we go now to the 82 to 87 Lincoln Continentals.
Wow.
They went up 20%, about 13K you could pick one up for. Those are great driving cars.
I've had 2 of them. Yes. I had an 84 Mark and I had an 84 Continental and an 83 Mark.
So here's one that hits in your garage scheme too.
Mm-hmm.
The 75 to 80 Buick Skyhawk, up 15%. 50. Howie, where are you, Howie?
No, wait. The Skyhawk was the Monza, Chevy Monza equivalent.
Okay, my sister-in-law had one of these that I ended up getting after she was done with it. She had she bought a Pathfinder. Then I drove that car for a couple of years, and it was a small little Econo box, 2-door, transverse 4-cylinder. It was a 5-speed. And, nothing.
Sure it was a Skyhawk?
Yes, absolutely sure it was a Skyhawk. And I found out that car could be shifted without using the clutch. It was unbelievable. So they're going for about $10,000 right now, which amazing it's even on the list. But The one that does hit my garage space that's on the list is a 66, well, they say 66 to 81 Fiat Spider, of course, which I own.
Right, and they're all the same.
But they focused on the 83 to 85 Azura model, which was a turbo. It was really, we didn't, there may be a couple here in the States. You really don't see them. It was more of a European thing. They went down 18%. The cars are about 18,000 right now. I'll sell mine for 18K right now. I'll take the cover off it today. Come on.
I think they're talking about condition, right?
Well, actually, yeah. I mean, besides my car does need a paint job. It does need paint, but condition wise, it's good. Other than the paint. Here's another one that now they go back to the 60 to 63 Ford Falcons.
Going up or going down?
Down 14. We're on the downside list now. Down 14%. Okay. They're about 16,000. John McNamara, the guy who was known for the Vietnam debacle, and he was the Secretary of State. That John McNamara worked for Ford before that.
He ran Ford. He was a bean counter, the head bean counter for Ford.
I just watched another one of my conspiracy video installations all about Curtis LeMay. I watched 4 hours on Curtis LeMay this weekend.
Oh, boy.
But they mentioned John McNamara because it ties in. They said McNamara was at Ford, and in the 60s, he was making like $85,000 a year. This is in the 60s. Yeah. And they wanted him to be like the Secretary of Defense or something. He goes, what do I know about that? He turned it down. It was only till later on that he did it. So that little
he did go into politics.
He did.
He was the one that
He was terrible.
Yeah, I believe it because he was the only Ford executive that hated cars.
Yeah,
he did. He hated cars. He wanted to keep the Falcon. He wanted to get rid of Lincoln.
But he had some good ideas. Well, anyway, yeah, that's a whole nother story. They didn't go into that. So the next last one is a 62 to 69 Austin Healey Sprite. It dropped 12%. They're about 11K now on the average. That's like a Triumph Spitfire.
It's like an MG Midget.
They're tiny.
They're the same cars. MG Midgets and Austin Healey Sprites are the same cars.
Right. And the last one on the list is a 62 to 69 MGB.
I believe it.
Also dropped 12%, and they're at average about 18,000 now. So that's 4 up, 4 down list.
They're tough. When I was looking for the Triumph, I remember seeing a whole boatload of MGs. Everybody was trying to get rid of their MGs.
Well, no, I think I don't know if it's only that. It's like Camaros. You're always going to see them because there were so many of them.
Yeah.
And the MGs were. I don't know what the production was. We should look that up.
Oh, there were a lot of them.
There was a lot of them. And people, that's the car that my Fiat is most commonly mistaken for. Like, hey, nice MG. Like, it's not an MG.
Yeah. It's funny because my cousin Pat with the Corvette also has an MG, an 80 MGB. It's got like 19,000 miles on it, and I've driven it. And compared to my Triumph, the MG is small.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's small.
Let's take a small call and see who's on the line. Hello, caller. You're on with the Motor Mouths.
Hello, Chris. Hello, Ray.
What's up, John?
Hiya, John.
Armageddon is slowly receding.
Yep, just like
yes.
I gotcha. Oh, my God. You guys are all over the place today, but wanted to add a couple things. Kenny will probably back me up on this. Small engines are detergent oil.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I got to digress. I got to say, check. I know that my little Craftsman is non-detergent. So you got to check and see what your engine calls for. Don't just make the assumption.
I agree.
Yeah.
No, I never do. But if you go Briggs and Stratton, who manufactures a lot of small engines, sells oil branded Briggs and Stratton.
Okay.
It's a detergent oil.
Okay. I think there may be.
You know, I honestly, Ray, I don't recall ever reading in any of the owner's manuals, you know, whether I downloaded it online, where it specifies detergent or non.
Okay. Yeah. It may say it on a tag on the machine. You know, it may say it on the. I guess we'll have to.
Yeah. So good luck.
Yeah, so we'll pay attention. Yeah, I do know. Yeah, it would make sense for it to be detergent because this is an internal combustion engine. I know when I change the oil in my air compressor, that's a non-detergent straight 30.
Yes,
because
I agree completely.
There's no
combustion.
Right, no combustion. So yeah, it pays to check. Right. It pays to check and see.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
And the other thing, as far as straight 30 weight, depends on use.
Okay.
especially time of year. I've gone through this with a buddy of mine, and I repair a lot of lawn tractors, 18 to, 26 horse.
Right.
Depending on the time of year of usage, like in the summer, they recommend a straight 30 weight.
Okay.
I know the detergent God only knows. But if you read in the owner's manuals, a lot of them will show temperature usage. So like if you're using your lawn tractor with a snowblower attachment or maybe a plow, they recommend a, 1030 and in some cases even 530.
I could see that, but I think what Kenny was talking about was your regular walk behind snow blowers. They're only going to be used in the cold weather. So again, follow the manufacturer's recommendation and have a good day.
Yeah. Can't go wrong.
Listen, most people don't follow the recommendation at all. They don't do anything. So doing something is better than doing nothing, I think.
Well, depending on when you store your snowblower, like if it's out in a shed and it's -1, I wouldn't want to try starting it with, a pull start.
Yeah, that I tell you, that's
30 weight in it.
That's why it's nice to have a machine that has an electric starter on it.
Mine does.
Yeah. Actually, the 2-stroke that I had the electric starter, but Sandy, that was when it was floating in the garage and that electric starter was toast. I couldn't replace it, and the cost of it was it would have cost me more to replace it than the machine was worth. So I pulled the damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
So no big.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I got you.
Very good job. Thanks for the info.
Great day, guys. Good show.
All right, John. See ya.
Thanks, John. Be safe.
He is absolutely right. You always check with the manufacturer with everything and use what they recommend, unless you want to play home chemist, which a lot of our listeners and friends and co-hosts do.
You mean adding water to it and stirring it up?
There you go.
You don't do that with oil.
Well, that's good because I could go out and look now, and that'll get me out to the garage so I could change the clock in the garage. It's one of the last clocks that I change is the garage clock.
Yep. Same here.
That and the cars. The cars are always, not to get in it. All right, let me change the clock. Yeah.
and the procedure now to change clocks on some cars is just ridiculous. Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous.
I took the Mazda in today and I said, oh yeah, the clock. So the radio's on. I pressed the clock, the button that said clock, and then it flashed.
Don't you have to shut the radio off first?
No, this radio is on. But now it's always, okay, it's flashing. Which next button increments hour or minute? And I took a shot and I went over to the rocker that's on the right and I just hit it up and it went boom. It went to 11. I'm like, yes. You're right. Some of them are, it's stand on one hand, swing a chicken around. And
yeah, exactly. My claim to fame is changing the clock while I'm waiting for a red light.
Right. Then you hear
yeah, right.
Move it.
But you can't do it. It's flashing. The light turns green. You take off. Light still. The clock is still flashing.
Right.
You lost your radio signal, whatever you were on.
Exactly.
It's like
I know. It's I don't know. There's a whole big debate about that. Truthfully, at this point in my life, I could care less if they just do away with the whole damn daylight savings time thing. Just keep it on standard time. Who cares?
Yeah.
So I don't have to go changing clocks anymore.
See, I'm of the ilk, like it's been part of my life for my whole life, so I just do it. It's just one of those things that just get it done. No big deal.
Been an annoyance my whole life, and it's
right, exactly.
I'm looking to get less annoyance, not more annoyance. Why do I keep coming here?
I don't know.
24 years. Geez.
I don't know. You keep telling me to show up. I show up.
No, and you do. If you didn't, I'd say, okay, well, close the lights. Let's go home.
Right. But talk about annoyances. I wanted to talk about social media for a second.
Oh, there's an annoyance. Good, because we're getting toward the end of the show, Chris. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, what do you got?
I've noticed on social media a lot of AI-generated vehicles. Have you noticed this?
Well, yes. We were talking about that with Billy a little while ago, a couple weeks ago, where he was talking about the Caddy.
I'm still trying to figure out the advantage of this. Why are these individuals doing this? It's either that or the other annoyance I have is on Facebook. And I know you're not a Facebook guy, but on Facebook, there's this individual, whomever it is, that will show you 3 pictures of cars, and usually they're donked out. They have the big, fat, crazy 27-inch wheels on them. And what they do is they'll put the caption, and the caption of the 3 cars, the caption will read 2 of them correct and one of them incorrect.
Okay.
And I'm tired of that.
And what are you supposed to do as an interface? Tell them which one is wrong?
Yeah, I guess that's where they're generating more hits by being corrected. Oh, no, that's a 73 instead of a 72. So I've gotten to that point where I've taken it a step up and I just go, wrong, Cappy.
Well, you know what I like?
You did it wrong, Cappy. Get it right the next time, you knucklehead.
I do see Facebook because we have a Motormouth Radio Facebook page, obviously. You can go there. It's Motormouth Radio. It's also Motormouth Radio on X and real_Motormouth Radio on Instagram. Motormouth Video or Motormouth Radio on YouTube, where this show will go later today. Thank you for bringing that up, Chris. So I do scroll through those social media platforms, and the thing that I see that I get a kick out of is when a guy will put something up that's like he'll put up a picture of a tool. And maybe it's a little bit of an obscure tool or something, and he'll just say, you know, wrong answers only. I see that a lot. And those I'll read because, man, that's when the creativity comes out. You want to see snarky, you want to see, you know, creativity, wrong answers only. I love when I see that because that gets the thing going, and people come up with the weirdest. You know,
that is true. I have seen those as well. Yeah,
that's a good
definitely
one.
have a point. But I'm still trying to figure out where if there's a financial benefit to this, where it lies. I don't know.
It's not on our site.
No, it's not, because I'd be putting up the weirdest stuff and calling it whatever it is to make a buck. I mean, if that's all it takes, holy smokes. But all it does to me is it's showing either an ignorance or just a lack of knowledge, it's a laziness.
No, I think you're right. You hit the nail on the head. It's clickbait. It is definitely
it's got to be clickbait. Yeah,
to get interactions and views. And the same thing when they'll put up a picture, you know, of a nice looking girl or woman, you know, and then they want you, because if you click and go in, that's another interaction. That's an impression. It's another interaction. You go further in. Or
and then you get those funny advertisements.
I know. Or they do like a reel or a short that looks, they have to come on, and if you click it, now I've seen some of them where, you know, it's kind of quick. It may be a reel or just a short, truly. Some of them, I fall for it. I'm like, okay, well, let me see what the punchline is. And I'm looking like, wait a minute, this has been going on for like half a minute already. And then I look at the bottom like, no, this thing is like 4 minutes. Screw you. I'm done. Out of here. Yep. No, because it's not going to go anywhere you think it's going to go.
Right. Exactly. The last thing I do is when you get prompted, wait for it. Wait till the end. Wait for it.
End, right. That's when I scroll right to and
right. It's true.
10 seconds. And there's usually no payoff.
Yeah, you have more patience than I do. I just push off.
Right.
It could just say, click me off now. Yes.
Right. So we are clicking us off right now because it is time. Kim is coming in and doing Thunder Road. So stay tuned. Like I know you do because you like her show better than us all the time.
I know I do.
Listeners have told us that. What are you guys doing back? I want Kim. I know. That's okay. That's fine. Listen, it's all in the family. So Chris will be back next week with more Motormouth Radio. Maybe a guest. We have an author in the wings that wrote a book that we have to get in.
Nice. Authors with books. I like that.
And well, what else are they going to author?
That narrows it
people
down.
Waiting for me outside with snowblowers and stuff, shovels. What do I tell the guys in the parking lot?
Don't follow us home and stay off of social media.
You got that right.
Not your brain.
See you next week on with more Motormouth Radio with Ray and Chris on 90.3 WHPC.
See you, bye.
This show on 90.3 WHPC is brought to you by Tropical Smoothie Cafe of West Hempstead, Valley Stream, Jamaica, and Glen Oaks. Locations include 474 Hempstead Turnpike in West Hempstead, 215 West Merrick Road in Valley Stream, 147-40 Archer Avenue in Jamaica, Queens, and 259-15A Union Turnpike in Glen Oaks. Tropical Smoothie Cafe of West Hempstead, Valley Stream, Jamaica,